Good morning, Holt Junior High Learning Community. Happy Friday, Mr. Knighton here. Let's go ahead and jump right into this week's announcements. As always, we want to kick off with our word. My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together. Again, our humanity is bound up in one another's, for we can only be human together. Shout out to Mrs. Fra Lu, Mrs. Lazansky. She is our German teacher here. She is the newest recipient of the Inspiring Heart Award. Mrs. Vasilian passed it off over to her. I personally cannot say enough great things about Fra Lu. I do not have the language or the words or just the overall wisdom to be able to speak such greatness to what she is to this building, what she is to this learning community. But Mrs. Vasilian sure tried. But shout out to Fra Lu. She is just truly something special. We appreciate all that you do. So you are very, very, very worthy of receiving this Inspiring Heart Award. We appreciate you. Faces around the junior high, we have a few photos here that I want to speak about. I know we had put out these images last week on social media. Our choir students went to see The Lion King. I believe they were in Grand Rapids. That was really something special, so that was a lot of fun. The other day, Wednesday was Jackie Robinson Day, and I thought it was neat. Coach Kaz and I got this email from a parent who took a picture of Coach Kaz and their student who was repping some Jackie Robinson wear for Jackie Robinson Day. So shout out to Coach Kaz, shout out to the student, shout out to the parent for sharing that with us. That really meant a lot. Over here, we've got our Shrek musical that's coming up in May. So one of our showcases here in the building, it was dedicated to that space. So really love seeing that. I love when our staff are able to add their their creative touch to our building. Obviously for aesthetic reasons, it looks great, but it's also a way that we celebrate and recognize what we have going on here. So speaking of that, Mrs. CB getting ready for yesterday's Fine Arts Festival, put together another collage and another showcase, which is student artwork. So really, really, really appreciate Mrs. CB. Shout out to her dedication and her vision and her, just heart and care for celebrating our students. Down here, speaking about students, caught this young group of students just hanging. The Four Corners is a really popular spot here in the building during transition time, and they were just looking super relaxed and comfortable. Great conversation. And I was like, hey, do you mind if I get your picture? And they were like, sure, why not? So snap that, want to share that with you guys. But as always, Faces Around the Junior High, we just love recognizing and celebrating our people here in the building. Alrighty, parking lot update. You have noticed that there is construction going on to the south of our building with Sycamore being built, the new Sycamore that is. So with that being said, the parking lot's going to get just a hair bit smaller. They have to move their fence line out a little bit more during the construction. But one big thing that I want to point out is this is going to be specifically for some of the events that we have coming up. So we just had Fine Arts, so it really wasn't impacting that. But when the spring musical launches, when we welcome in our incoming 7th graders for move-up night very soon here, our parking lot will likely get very full. So there are 2 other parking lots that are to the east of our building. So in between our building and Sycamore, there's 2 alternative lots. So what this shows right here are where those overflow lots are. And if you park in those lots when you come to an event, what you can do is just walk south. You'll walk behind the cafeteria, walk behind the pool building or the pool room or whatever you want to call it, and then you'll turn right, and that takes you right over to the auditorium. So we are anticipating a lot of traffic for positive reasons as we do our showcases this spring, with our awards nights and with our musical and with our move-up night coming up very soon here. So we're expecting that we're probably going to need to utilize these overflow parking lots. So this is just showing you where those are. They're accessible off of Sycamore, so depending on which way you're coming to the junior high, if you're coming north up Aurelius, you would turn right. If you're coming south down Aurelius, you would turn left on the Sycamore. And then those 2 parking lots, like I said, are in between our building and Sycamore. So we really appreciate you guys coming out, and we really appreciate you guys using those parking lots for overflow. I'm not going to stop talking about this. It's getting better. School starts at 7:30. we need your young person here in the building way before 7:30. Class starts at 7:30, so they should be in their classroom, in their seat, ready to learn at 7:30. Kroger account, you guys know what this is. If you want to help us out, if you're a Kroger shopper, jump into your rewards, sign into the community rewards at Whole Junior High School, and we'll get a small portion of your purchase. Lugnuts trip that's coming up April 29th. I still cannot believe that we are in the month of April, but we are here. I know the countdown is strong. I believe we only have like 30 some odd days of school left. But yeah, that 8th grade field trip is coming up April 29th. So we appreciate those of you that will be attending. It is a really great time. Do not forget that you need to maintain your eligibility, which is passing 4 classes, 10 or fewer tardies, and then no detentions and no suspensions. We have our semester 2 field trip coming up for our 7th graders. You guys are going to Celebration Cinema to see, I believe, the new Mario movie. I believe that's what it is. On May the 29th. That'll be another really exciting opportunity to celebrate with our students and to just have a good time beyond the school walls. It'll be great. But again, there are requirements, so you do need to be passing 4 out of 6 classes, 6 or less tardies, no suspensions, and 3 or fewer detentions. Spring testing. We did PSAT this past Tuesday with our 8th graders. 7th graders had a later start. Families, we are going to ask that you please just look over this. Our M-STEP window starts on the 27th. So this schedule right here is just showing you what 7th graders are doing on that day, 8th graders, and so on. Really important. We do have some testing specifics, just some information here about what the expectations are during the testing window when you are testing. But again, we really appreciated everybody's support on Tuesday. We know that was definitely a different kind of schedule with our 7th graders starting later. We don't need to worry about that again this school year, but we are moving into M-STEP, which will be for both 7th and 8th grade. So just take a look at this schedule, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Bell schedules. Next week, we are running ABC. Wednesday is an early release, so please note that. Again, ABC schedules next week, with Wednesday being an early release. Staff emails, nothing has changed there. I did update the junior high calendar just to reflect. I put some of our celebrations on there with Fine Arts Festival, which already passed, 8th grade Lugnuts trip, 7th grade field trip starting up. We have our 8th grade farewell dance on May the 29th. That's a Friday. That typically runs 7 to 9. It's a 2000s theme. So for those of you that graduated high school in the 2000s, yes, we are getting old because now we are theming dances around the era in which we were in school. That is crazy. But yeah, should be a good time though. Let's see here. Clubs and activities. This stays up to date, so always just go ahead and click to get more information. And we're going to end with the word of the week. As I shared, it was Jackie Robinson Day on Wednesday, so let's end with a word from him. A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. Again, from Jackie Robinson, a life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. So just going to let that one sit with you this weekend. I hope you all have a great weekend, that you are safe, and we're looking forward to having everybody back on Monday. Much love. Take care.